Let's start talking about the embattled gubernatorial candidate in North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Of course, it's alleged that he put these posts up, very controversial, on a pornographic website. He says he didn't do it. Former President Donald Trump spoke yesterday in North Carolina, didn't mention him, has not dropped his endorsement. Senator, do you think that former President Trump should drop his endorsement of Mark Robinson?
I think what's going to happen here is that he deserves a chance to defend himself, Mark Robinson. The charges are beyond unnerving. If they're true, he's unfit to serve for office. If they're not true, he has the best lawsuit in the history of the country for libel. He's claiming they were artificially created and that CNN passed it along to be true. Has NBC confirmed this?
Not yet. We're all looking into it.
Well, so what I would do if I were him, I would hire me the best lawyer I could find. I'd sue the hell out of CNN because what they're saying about him is just unbelievable. Now, he needs to do more, in my view. He has a right to defend himself. He has an obligation to defend himself. This is hanging over his campaign. Trump won in 2016 and 2020 when the governor candidate lost both times. I don't think this hurts Trump. But as to Robinson, he's a political zombie if he does not offer a defense to this that's credible.
Senator, these allegations, this story came out on Friday. He has had multiple days to defend himself. He has not produced one shred of evidence. And as you know, he's had plenty of other highly controversial comments in the past, including saying, let's stop talking about Hitler and the Nazis. Do you think he could cost Trump North Carolina? No, I really don't, because Trump won when the governor candidate lost in 2016 and 2020. But here's what's important. I'm in South Carolina. I see the ads every 15 seconds. This is a major allegation by a major news organization that needs to be addressed. He has not only a right to defend himself, but an obligation to defend himself. At the very least, should former President Trump pull his endorsement or make it clear that he's distancing himself?
I think what you're going to see happen here is Robinson's going to have to deal with it. There's nothing, no accusation involving Trump. It's all about Robinson. You asked a good question. Should every Republican in the country be held responsible for this guy? I would say no. It's him, not me. It's not Trump. He's the one that supposedly said these things. He has a right to defend himself. He needs to defend himself.
All right, let's move on.